Always great to talk a little Aztecs with him. Athletic Director J.D. Wicker back with us here. J.D., good morning. How are you, fine sir?
I am well. How are you today?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great. Not so great because of some people down at the city council dragging their feet, as John had said, possibly moving the goalpost on San Diego State a little bit. Have you been given a clear, definitive answer why they are not discussing the Mission Valley site today in their council meeting?
I have not heard why. No.
So can you ascertain, or do you have a guess why they wouldn't want something? They wouldn't want to discuss what is obviously going to be a great thing for not just San Diego State University, but the whole city of San Diego?
I honestly, I'm not sure why the city attorney or the council have decided not to move this forward, or the mayor. I really don't know. We've been very open that we think the PSA is a fair PSA, purchase and sale agreement. We've had it posted on our website for, I think, 2+ weeks now, so that people can review it if they have any questions. So I think it would be great to get it out there and debate it at city council. But, we're hopeful that they will move it forward here in the near future.
JD, we talked about this briefly on GoAztecs.com this weekend, but for our listeners, what happens if San Diego State doesn't have that PSA, that purchase and sale agreement with the city by the time your lease expires at SDSU Stadium at the end of this 2020 season?
We're going to explore all of our options, have serious concerns with, what would potentially be an indefinite lease staying in the stadium, knowing that it's got a lot of deferred maintenance. We've had more issues recently with maintaining the building during our football season. So we want to go look and see, what's available out there that, from a revenue and expense standpoint, how that plays out. We know we can go and find a better fan experience. We're trying to build a better fan experience for our San Diego State football fans, and with the new stadium, the entire community. So we're going to explore what that is and not just take a lease from the city.
JD, can you tell us specifically where you might be looking at this point?
I'll just say we've been looking in the Southern California region. I think, people can kind of ascertain what that is, but, we'll listen to, what the city has to say. If we come to that point at the end of the year, they've kind of made it clear that they'd like us to take over running the entire stadium and thus take on the expense of the stadium, which is problematic. But there are definitely some other great buildings in Southern California that, offer some great opportunities.
JD, with this PSA not being on the docket today for City Council, is there a future date it could be resolved? As in, can this be put on a docket at any point moving forward, potentially?
Yeah, they can put it on any of their regularly scheduled meetings. My understanding is they could call a meeting next week if they so chose to. Georgette Gomez can. So, again, we're hopeful that, they're going to move this forward, and they're going to give the full council the opportunity to debate it in an open council meeting soon.
For those of you listening out there, by the way, Georgette Gomez, SDSU alum, by the way. So keep that in the back of your mind, why she kind of sits on her thumb. Aztec Athletic Director J.D. Wicker with us here on Xtra. J.D., do you know if the stadium, or if you've ever talked to, I guess, safety and structural engineers, and what I'm getting at, I'm just worried that at some point, whether the city likes it or not, whether the Aztecs like it or not, someone's going to step in and say, okay, you run the risk of somebody dying in this stadium if you continue to play in it. Is that one of the concerns for San Diego State University?
I don't know that it's quite that dire. The bigger issue is just having to, say you have concrete falling, which they've had problems with that in the stadium, or elevators not working, or escalators, or other major mechanical systems, that it will cost a significant amount of money to fix those. And if we were to take on the stadium in a lease where we were responsible for all expenses, that would be something that would fall to San Diego State. And that's not something that, we want to do it in an indefinite period. If we were to be able to purchase the property and then play in the stadium for a couple of years, that's worth it for us because we would own the property and know that we're building a stadium. But it's not something that we want to take on indefinitely.
J.D. Wicker joining us right now on Xtra 1360. J.D., the governor yesterday saying sports could return to the state as soon as early June. Does this impact your timeline at all with bringing student athletes back to campus this summer?
It actually plays into it great. I mean, that was very welcome news. Excited to see that yesterday morning as we continue to work through all of the things that we need to do to safely bring our student athletes and our staff back on campus. That really plays well into a July 7th being able to bring the football players back.
JD, I know that we've talked about it and maybe somewhat tongue-in-cheek, and we know how cavernous SDSU Stadium is. And when you have a decent-sized crowd, it does look like it's half empty, unfortunately. But it does allow you the opportunity, if the governor says, okay, these are the parameters by which fans can come back into the stands, you've got to be socially distanced. Well, it's kind of tailor-made for that. Is there planning going on right now with you in the department, maybe a schematic drawn up, if in fact it comes to that?
We are working through all of our options right now. Our ticket partner has the ability to basically place people in seats with appropriate social distancing. My understanding, they have a program that can do that. So we're just getting into the planning process of that currently, of what that would look like and what our total numbers are. So we'll have contingency plans for obviously no fans. That's a little simpler than, if we do have fans and then the number that we can have. So we're excited about what the governor said yesterday. And then I think I saw a tweet or something that Mayor Faulkner was hoping to get to phase 3 within the city of San Diego. So that's pretty exciting as well. Excited for the movement forward.
JD, I wanted to ask you about your basketball programs as well. I saw yesterday it was reported that the Mountain West will expand their conference basketball schedule from 18 games to 20 games at some point in the next couple of years. What type of negative impact could that have on your basketball program, specifically men's basketball, and the success that Brian Dutcher and his program have had here?
One of the biggest issues for us is that it decreases our flexibility in scheduling. So one of the last games we added last year to our schedule was a neutral site game against Utah in Staples Center. Well, that would have been either San Jose State in San Jose or Air Force at home, which were both, I think, 250-plus RPI teams. So we know that we need to build a great non-conference schedule, so having as much flexibility to go out and find those good home-and-homes like Arizona State and BYU, or neutral sites like a Utah and Cal that we've played before. Those are important. And, we saw a couple of years ago, we went 16-2 in league and, had a little bit of a rough non-conference, won some games we should have, lost one or two that we shouldn't have, and 16-2 couldn't get us into the NCAA tournament. So we really value our non-conference schedule, and we're disappointed that we're going to have less flexibility going in the forward.
John David, always appreciate the visit. Hope you, the wife, the beautiful girls are doing fine. Is the new puppy home yet? Or the new dog?
The new puppy is home. They were out front, going out and playing around and doing her business just a few minutes ago. So the puppy is doing great. The kids love her. It's fun to have a little energy in the house again.
What kind of dog is it again? What's it a mix of?
It's a shepherd mix. She's dark, kind of a lot of different colors of brown. So she's a cute little puppy.
What's her name?
Kona.
Oh, that's not too shabby.
Yeah, no, she's kind of, it's kind of a Kona. She's coffee-ish colored.
Right.
And we love going to Hawaii. We had to cancel a trip to Hawaii here later in a couple of weeks. So we were like, well, we'll celebrate with our new little puppy. So it's been great.
You brought the islands to your house. How beautiful is that?
There you go. Now, how many do y'all still have? Or y'all?
Number one, the oldest girl, the biggest girl is leaving us today. And then actually a coworker of ours here, he's in the process of adopting the little boy. And then the third little girl, the Velociraptor hyena mix. No one has claimed her yet. So we are either going to be a 4-dog or a 5-dog family. So we obviously would enjoy Kona coming over and having a play date if that ever comes up.
There we go. We'll have to see if we can figure that out.
All right,
when I have an event at the president's house, I'll just drop her off.
JD, good talking to you, man. See you soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. JD Wicker, Aztec Athletics Director.